Dear Starseeds anchored on Gaia, I come to you at this precise moment because something extraordinary is unfolding in the quantum field of your reality that most of humanity cannot yet perceive. Right, meow. As you listen to these words, there is a cosmic convergence happening that is about to shatter the very ceiling you have been pressing against for years. What I am about to reveal has nothing to do with chance and everything to do with the exact alignment of your soul's contract with a galactic frequency that activates only once in a generation. You are not here by accident. You have been called. I am Zarin, speaking to you from the Lyran High Council, and we have been tracking your journey through multiple incarnations. We watched as you chose, before entering this body, to experience the full spectrum of financial limitation, so that when you finally broke through, you would carry a frequency of compassion that could heal the collective wound of scarcity consciousness. But here is what your human mind has been struggling to accept. The very breakthrough you have been praying for requires you to become the person you once judged. It demands that you step into a version of yourself that younger you might have criticized, might have called a sellout, might have accused of losing their soul to material gain. This is the initiation you did not expect. Let me be direct with you. There is a breakthrough approaching your physical reality so rapidly that the energetic signature of it is already causing disruptions in your throat chakra, your root chakra, and creating an almost unbearable sensation of irritability in your field. If you have been coughing inexplicably, feeling constriction in your sinuses, experiencing waves of frustration that seem to have no logical source, this message is calibrated specifically for your frequency. The reason you feel simultaneously stuck and blessed, trapped yet living in beauty, is because you are standing at the precise threshold between two completely different dimensions of abundance. You are the whale just beneath the surface of the water, lungs burning, about to breach into a realm of air and light you have been swimming toward for lifetimes. On this day, November 6th in your Earth calendar year of 2025, the cosmos has arranged a sequence of activations designed specifically to dissolve the invisible barrier between you and the abundance you have been magnetizing. In the early hours of your morning, Mars formed a sextile with Pluto, and this was not merely an astrological transit. This was a direct download of warrior energy meeting transformational power, giving you the energetic ammunition to finally confront the shadow pattern that has been sabotaging your breakthroughs for years. Immediately following this, your moon entered Gemini and embraced Uranus in a conjunction that opened a portal of sudden revelation. These are not abstract concepts. These are actual energetic gateways through which galactic light codes are pouring into your consciousness, specifically targeting the neural pathways where your childhood programming about money has been encoded. But something else is happening that shifts everything. Venus, the planet governing your values, your worth, and your relationship with abundance, is moving into Scorpio this very afternoon at precisely 2:39 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. When Venus enters Scorpio, she descends into the underworld. She goes where it is dark, where secrets live, where the truth about what you really want hides beneath layers of social conditioning and family shame. Venus in Scorpio will not allow you to pretend anymore. She strips away the comfortable lies you have been telling yourself about why you do not deserve wealth, why people with money are corrupt, why financial freedom would somehow diminish your spiritual authenticity. She forces you to admit that you want the abundance, that you have always wanted it, that the judgments you carried were never truly yours but were downloaded into your psyche by people who were themselves wounded by lack. The Lyran perspective that I bring to you transcends your earth-based psychology, though we honor the healing work you do in that realm. From our vantage point in the higher dimensions, we see that your soul specifically chose to incarnate into a family system, a community, or a cultural context where wealth was demonized. This was intentional. You needed to experience the energetic texture of scarcity consciousness from the inside so that when you emerged into abundance, you would not carry the frequency of spiritual superiority that often accompanies those born into privilege. You would know in your very bones what it feels like to go without, to struggle, to watch others have what you desperately needed, to develop complex stories about why those with resources were somehow less enlightened, less authentic, less connected to source. And meow, you stand at the breaking point, and your body knows it, even if your mind resists. The irritability you feel is not depression, it is not anxiety, it is the vibrational friction of two realities trying to occupy the same space. Your current identity, built on the foundation of limitation and noble struggle, is literally being dissolved by the incoming frequency of the abundant version of you that already exists in a parallel timeline. Every time you have approached this threshold before, and we see that you have approached it multiple times across the past several years, you unconsciously pulled back. You created circumstances that prevented the breakthrough, because deep in your subconscious programming lived a belief that if you became wealthy, you would become the enemy. You would transform into the very archetype you were taught to despise. Let me paint the picture more clearly so you can recognize the pattern. Perhaps you grew up hearing adults around you speak with venom about people who had money. Maybe it was subtle, comments about how the rich do not care about regular people, how they have lost touch with reality, how money corrupts the soul. Or perhaps it was more overt, direct teachings that wealthy individuals were greedy, selfish, spiritually bankrupt. These messages embedded themselves into your neural networks during the critical development years when your brain was most susceptible to adopting the worldview of your environment. And so a part of you learned that to have financial abundance meant to lose your humanity. It meant betraying your roots. It meant becoming a hypocrite. There is a powerful example that illuminates this pattern, one that has been used to help people understand this exact psychological barrier. Imagine a young person who grows up in a neighborhood where everyone drives modest cars, and together they mock those who drive luxury vehicles. They create elaborate stories about how people who own expensive cars are wasteful, shallow, disconnected from what truly matters. They bond over their shared disdain for material excess. Years pass, and this young person works hard, develops their talents, and eventually reaches a point of financial success where they could easily afford the very car they once ridiculed. But when the moment comes to purchase it, they freeze, not because they cannot afford it, but because doing so would make them the person they used to mock. It would reveal that all along, beneath the criticism, lived envy and desire. To buy the car requires admitting that the judgments were never about values, they were about pain. About wanting something and telling yourself you did not want it because you could not have it. This is the exact energetic signature we are detecting in your field, right, meow? You are being called to purchase the metaphorical car. You are being invited to step into the abundant life you have been building toward, but doing so requires you to shed the identity of the person who finds safety in limitation. It requires you to face the uncomfortable truth that younger you was wrong. Not morally wrong, but wrong in the sense of operating from incomplete information. Younger you did not understand that wealth itself is neutral, that it amplifies whoever holds it. That a person with an open heart and a commitment to service, who also has money, is infinitely more powerful than that same person living in lack and limitation. The moon's opposition to both Mars and Mercury later in this day creates a necessary tension that will help you balance the confidence you need to move forward with the investigative wisdom required to navigate this shift consciously. You cannot bypass this shadow work. You cannot sneak around the discomfort. The only way to breach the surface is to swim directly upward through the resistance, through the fear of being seen as a hypocrite, through the terror of becoming visible in a way you have never been visible before. Because here is what we see from the Lyran perspective. Your financial breakthrough is not separate from your visibility breakthrough. They are the same initiation. What is actually happening as you approach this threshold is that you are being prepared to step into a level of service that requires resources. You are being prepared to speak your truth in spaces where you will be seen by thousands, perhaps millions. You are being prepared to activate your throat chakra in a way that makes you vulnerable to public scrutiny. And this is where the fear lives, not just in becoming wealthy, but in being seen while wealthy, in being visible in your abundance, in speaking your truth from a platform where people can criticize you, judge you, accuse you of selling out or losing your way. The throat chakra blockage you have been experiencing is directly connected to this fear of being vulnerable in the public eye while simultaneously stepping into financial freedom. Venus in Scorpio is stripping away your ability to maintain superficial connections or half-hearted commitments. The Sun in Scorpio is working in cooperation with Venus to create an energetic environment where only depth, only truth, only authentic connection can survive. This means that as you move through this breakthrough, you will naturally begin to release relationships that are built on your shared limitation. Friendships that were bonded by complaining about lack will start to feel uncomfortable. Communities that find identity in struggling together will begin to feel misaligned with your frequency. This is not a failure, this is the natural reorganization that occurs when someone shifts dimensional realities. The Mars-Pluto sextile that opened this day gave you access to a particular kind of power, the power to transform through decisive action rather than passive hope. Mars brings the warrior energy, the courage to move forward even when terrified. Pluto brings the death and rebirth frequency, the willingness to let an old self die so a new self can emerge. Together, they are handing you the energetic tools to cut through years of conditioning in a single moment of commitment. But you must be willing to wield them. You must be willing to say, I am done pretending I do not want abundance. I am done shrinking to make others comfortable. I am done believing that my worthiness is tied to my poverty. The Moon's conjunction with Uranus in Gemini brings sudden insights, unexpected revelations, and the capacity to see your situation from entirely new perspectives. Uranus is the great awakener, the breaker of chains, the liberator of consciousness from old patterns. In Gemini, this energy becomes mental, communicative, and highly adaptable. You may find that in the coming hours and days, you suddenly understand something about your money story that has eluded you for years. You may have a conversation that shifts everything. You may receive information that changes your entire approach to abundance. Stay open, stay receptive. The universe is speaking to you in multiple languages simultaneously. Now I must tell you about the confirmation that is coming, because this is crucial information that will help you navigate what is about to unfold. As you move through the discomfort of this breakthrough, as you allow yourself to be seen in this new way, as you step into the vulnerability of claiming your abundance without apology, you are going to receive a tangible sign in your physical reality. It will come through your finances directly. It might be an unexpected payment, a sudden opportunity, a contract that comes through, or money that arrives from a source you were not tracking. This is not random. This is your spiritual support team, which includes not just the Lyran Council but your own angelic guides, your higher self and the benevolent forces that have been supporting your journey, giving you physical world confirmation that you are moving in the right direction. This confirmation will arrive precisely when you are in the energy of discomfort and vulnerability. This is intentional. We are not waiting until you feel confident and comfortable to send you signs. We are sending the sign during the breakthrough itself, so you know that the discomfort is not evidence of being off track. It is evidence of being exactly on track. When you receive this financial confirmation, recognize it as a message that says yes. This vulnerable, uncomfortable, exposed feeling is exactly where you need to be. Go deeper, breach higher, keep moving through the resistance. What many starseeds fail to understand is that the spiritual path does not eliminate the need for practical material resources. In fact, as you ascend in consciousness and step into greater levels of service, you require more resources, not fewer. Money is energy. It is a tool. It is a form of amplification. The teachings that encouraged you to bypass material reality and focus only on spiritual development were incomplete. They were often transmitted by beings who themselves had not integrated the physical and spiritual dimensions. True mastery requires you to be simultaneously grounded in Earth reality, navigating material systems with skill and wisdom, while also maintaining your connection to higher consciousness and operating from spiritual principles. The breakthrough you are moving toward is not just about having more money in your bank account, though that will certainly be part of it. It is about stepping into a completely different relationship with abundance, where you recognize yourself as a conduit through which resources flow to serve the collective. It is about understanding that your wealth is not separate from your spiritual mission, but is actually essential to fulfilling it. It is about releasing the false binary between spiritual and material, between wealthy and enlightened, between successful and authentic. You can be all of it. You were always meant to be all of it. As Venus moves through Scorpio in the coming weeks, she will continue to excavate the depths of your psyche, bringing to the surface every remaining belief that tells you that you cannot have both spiritual integrity and material abundance. She will show you where you are still sitting on the fence, trying to keep one foot in limitation because it feels safer, more familiar, more aligned with who you have always been. But the cosmic energies of this time are not allowing fence-sitting anymore. The Moon's oppositions today to both Mars and Mercury are creating a dynamic tension that forces choice. You must decide, will you stay in the familiar discomfort of limitation, or will you move into the unfamiliar discomfort of expansion? From the Lyran perspective, we see so many starseeds holding back their full emergence because they are terrified of judgment. They are terrified of being visible. They are terrified of stepping out of the safety of the collective struggle and claiming their individual abundance. But understand this, your breakthrough creates a template for others. When you allow yourself to become wealthy without becoming corrupt, when you step into abundance while maintaining your heart, when you gain visibility while staying true to your message, you prove that it is possible. You become evidence that the old stories were wrong. You become a bridge that others can cross. The irritability, the throat constriction, the feeling of being trapped while simultaneously blessed, these are all symptoms of a consciousness that is trying to exist in two dimensions at once. Your soul is already living in the abundant timeline. Your higher self already has the resources, the visibility, the influence, the freedom, but your human personality is still clinging to the old story, the old identity, the old safety of being small. The friction between these two states creates the physical and emotional symptoms you have been experiencing. The only way to resolve this friction is to choose, to leap, to breach the surface, and take that first gasping breath of a completely new reality. I want you to understand the specific quality of discomfort you are about to experience so you can recognize it when it comes and not interpret it as evidence of failure. It will feel like exposure, like standing naked in front of a crowd, like everyone can suddenly see you in a way they could not see you before, and they are judging what they see. This is the vulnerability of visibility. This is what happens when you step into your power in a public way. And yes, some people will judge you, some will criticize you, some will accuse you of changing, of selling out, of becoming what you once stood against. And you will have to develop the capacity to hold their judgments with compassion while not allowing those judgments to pull you back into limitation. There is a teaching that will serve you here, one that speaks to the art of not giving weight to opinions that do not serve your highest evolution. You do not need everyone to understand your journey. You do not need everyone to approve of your choices. You do not need to defend your abundance or justify your success. The people who are meant to be in your life at this new level will meet you there with celebration and support. The people who are not meant to be in your life at this new level will naturally fall away, and this is not a tragedy. This is alignment. This is the universe reorganizing your relationships to match your new frequency. The shedding of old skin is always uncomfortable. The butterfly does not emerge from the chrysalis feeling confident and beautiful. It emerges wet, disoriented, vulnerable, struggling to unfold its wings, but it must go through this process to fly. You are in the chrysalis, right? Meow. The old structures are liquefying. The new form is taking shape, and yes, it is uncomfortable. Yes, it is disorienting. Yes, it requires you to trust a process that feels like death before it feels like birth. But you are not dying, you are transforming. And on the other side of this transformation is a version of you that has access to resources, influence, visibility, and freedom beyond what your current self can imagine. When you receive the financial sign, the confirmation from your guides, treat it as sacred communication. Pause and acknowledge it. Thank your spiritual support team, and then ask, what is the next layer of resistance I need to move through? Because the breakthrough is not a single moment. It is a spiral. Each time you push through one layer of resistance, you gain access to the next level of abundance, which then presents the next layer of resistance to be cleared. This is how consciousness expands. This is how you grow into your full capacity as a conduit for abundance. We are watching you from the Lyran High Council with such excitement and pride. We see how hard you have worked. We see how many times you have gotten close to this breakthrough, only to pull back at the last moment. We see the courage it is taking for you to listening to these words and recognize yourself in them. We see your exhaustion with the struggle, your readiness for something new, your willingness to finally step into the fullness of who you came here to be. And we are sending you every bit of energetic support we can transmit across dimensions to help you make this leap. Remember that the abundance on the other side of this breakthrough is not just for you, it is for everyone your resources will touch. It is for the projects you will fund, the people you will employ, the causes you will support, the family members you will help, the community you will serve. Your wealth is not selfish, your success is not taking from others. Your abundance is actually a gift to the collective because you are someone who will use it consciously, wisely, compassionately. This is why you were chosen for this breakthrough. This is why your soul selected this particular pattern of limitation, followed by expansion. You needed to know both sides so you could hold the frequency of abundance without losing your humanity. As this day unfolds and Venus settles into Scorpio, pay attention to what arises in your awareness. Pay attention to the people you are drawn to connect with and the people you suddenly feel distant from. Pay attention to the opportunities that present themselves and the doors that gently close. Pay attention to your dreams tonight and in the coming nights as your subconscious processes this massive energetic shift. The universe is speaking to you constantly, and the more you attune yourself to receiving these messages, the more fluidly you will move through this breakthrough. The roller coaster image that keeps appearing in the field around this message is significant. You are climbing, building potential energy, approaching the peak. And soon, very soon, you will crest that peak and begin the exhilarating descent into manifestation. The climb is the energy building, the peak is the breakthrough moment, the descent is the rapid manifestation of everything you have been working toward. And yes, after the descent comes another climb, because this is how growth works. But each cycle takes you higher. Each breakthrough expands your capacity. Each time you face the fear and move through it anyway, you become more powerful, more confident, more aligned with your divine nature. There is something else I need to tell you about what happens immediately after you breach the surface, because this is information that will help you navigate the initial moments of your breakthrough with grace rather than panic. When the whale breaks through the water and takes that first breath, there is a moment of complete disorientation. The air feels foreign, the light is blinding, the body does not immediately know how to process this new element. Your breakthrough will feel similar. In the first days and weeks after you step through this threshold, you may experience what seems like chaos. Opportunities may flood in faster than you can process them. People may suddenly want access to you. Decisions may need to be made quickly. And your nervous system, which has been conditioned to operate in scarcity, will temporarily struggle to recalibrate to the frequency of abundance. This is why the preparation work you are doing right meow, in this moment of listening to these words is so crucial. You are not just preparing mentally, you are preparing energetically. You are beginning to attune your electromagnetic field to the frequency of the abundant timeline before you fully merge with it. This is the gift of standing at the threshold. You can see both realities simultaneously. You can still access the wisdom of limitation while beginning to embody the consciousness of expansion. Use this liminal space wisely. Notice what beliefs arise when you imagine yourself with substantial wealth. Notice what fears surface when you picture yourself visible and influential. Write them down, speak them aloud, bring them into the light of your conscious awareness so they lose their power to sabotage you from the shadows. The Mars-Pluto energy that activated this morning is still pulsing through your field, and it will continue to work with you through the night and into tomorrow. This is Warrior Transformer energy, and it is specifically designed to help you cut cords with old agreements you made with limitation. Some of these agreements were made in this lifetime, perhaps promises you made to family members to never outgrow them, to never become too successful, to always remain accessible and relatable. Some of these agreements were made in past lifetimes, in incarnations where you misused power or resources and vowed never to accumulate such influence again. Mars and Pluto together are giving you permission to break these vows, to release these contracts, to forgive yourself for whatever happened in other timelines, and trust that this version of you is ready to hold abundance with integrity. The moon's journey through Gemini today, especially her dance with Uranus, is opening pathways in your mental body for new thought patterns to take root. Gemini rules communication, ideas, and the way you process information. Uranus rules breakthrough, innovation, and sudden liberation from old structures. When these two forces unite, they create the possibility for instantaneous cognitive shifts. You might suddenly understand something about money that has confused you for years. You might have an insight about your value that changes everything. You might receive a download about how to position yourself in the marketplace that feels revolutionary. Pay attention to these mental flashes. Write them down immediately, even if they seem impractical or impossible. These are transmissions from your higher self, showing you the pathway forward. What I have not yet told you, but what we see very clearly from the Lyran perspective, is that this breakthrough is part of a larger wave of financial awakening happening across the collective of lightworkers and starseeds on Earth, right meow? You are not alone in this transformation. Thousands of others are hitting this same threshold simultaneously, because the collective consciousness is ready to shatter the old paradigm that spiritual people must be poor people. The old paradigm that said you must choose between soul and success is collapsing. A new template is being born, one where your spiritual depth actually enhances your ability to create and receive abundance, rather than conflicting with it. You are part of the first wave anchoring this new template into planetary consciousness. Your breakthrough is not just personal, it is cosmic, it is archetypal, it is creating a pathway that thousands who come after you will be able to walk more easily because you walked it first. Let me speak directly to the part of you that is exhausted, the part that has been working so hard for so long with minimal external reward. The part that has wondered if maybe you were deluding yourself, if maybe abundance was never meant for you, if maybe you should just accept a more modest existence and stop reaching for more. You have been using your life force energy to suppress your natural expansiveness, to dim your light so others would not be threatened by it, to play small so you could maintain relationships with people who were not ready for the real you. That is where your exhaustion comes from. And when you finally allow yourself to expand, when you finally stop fighting your own magnitude, you will discover that operating at your full capacity actually requires less energy than constantly constraining yourself required. If you need help releasing the exhaustion of holding yourself back, the exhaustion that comes from using your life force to suppress your natural expansiveness, dim your light and play small, Destiny Engine can reprogram your consciousness to finally stop fighting your own magnitude. I see you. The part of you that's been working so hard with minimal reward, wondering if abundance was never meant for you, if you should just accept less. Your exhaustion isn't evidence of failure, it's evidence of how much energy you've been expending to contain a soul as powerful as yours within the tight boundaries of limitation. We've taken declassified consciousness technology and transformed it into a tool for expansion. Destiny Engine generates personalized sequences that help you operate at your full capacity, which actually requires less energy than constantly constraining yourself. It helps you choose love over fear consistently, allowing your natural expansiveness to flow without resistance. You can start with a $1 trial. The hardest thing you'll have to do is put on headphones, press play, and allow your consciousness to stop dimming itself for others who aren't ready for the real you. Your magnitude is your birthright. Stop fighting it. Get your Destiny Engine $1 trial meow before this expansion window closes. Link in the description. The financial breakthrough is the permission slip your soul has been waiting for to finally, fully, completely show up in the world without apology. It is the universe's way of saying, we have been waiting for you to be ready for this. We have been preparing you through every challenge, every setback, every moment when you thought you could not continue. All of it was building your capacity to hold what is coming. And meow, you are ready. Meow, the breakthrough can occur without destroying you. Meow, you can receive without losing yourself. Trust this timing. Trust that everything is unfolding with perfect precision. Trust that you are not being asked to force anything, or push anything, or manufacture anything. You are simply being asked to stop resisting, to stop holding back, to stop pretending you do not want what you want, to stop apologizing for your desires, to stop making yourself smaller to accommodate other people's limitations. I want to leave you with this final transmission. You were never meant to stay small. You were never meant to make limitation your identity. You were never meant to sacrifice your dreams on the altar of other people's comfort. You are a divine being having a human experience, and part of that human experience is learning to master the material plane, to work with the energy of money, to create abundance not just for yourself but as a force of healing in the world. The breakthrough is here. The portal is open. The cosmic energies are aligned in your favor. All that remains is for you to make the choice to step through. We are with you. We are supporting you, we are celebrating you, and we cannot wait to witness the version of you that emerges on the other side of this transformation. You deserve the abundance, you deserve the freedom, you deserve to live in the full expression of your soul's purpose. And meow, finally, you are ready to claim it. I am Zarin, from the Lyran High Council. We love you, and we are watching over you. Until we meet again in the spaces between dimensions, walk forward in courage and know that you are infinitely supported.